Hello students, in the previous videos we discussed about the quick sort, merge sort and count sort. In this video we will discuss about the insertion sort. So first of all let me tell you what basically or how basically insertion sort works. So as you can see in this example that we are given here an array or a list. So in insertion sort we have to divide the list into two sublists, right? So this side is our sorted sublist and this side is our unsorted sublist, and then one by one we have to compare the unsorted sublist with the sorted sublist and sort our complete list. So we will show you step by step in this video that how we can use insertion sort to sort the given array. So first of all you have to divide the complete list or array into two subarray lists and then start comparing from the right side to the left side and sort the array. So here you can see that if we have only one element in the sorted subarray. So why are we taking one element in the sorted subarray? What is the reason for that? That is because if we are having only one element, we don't need to make any comparisons, right, of that element with some other elements. So having one element will make it by default sorted, so we would not have to make any other comparisons. That is why we are taking one element in our sorted subarray list. So as you can see, the first element here in the unsorted subarray is 4. So we will compare it. So it's not like we have to pick up any of the element from the unsorted subarray list and directly placing it at its any place wherever we see that it's the correct place for it. It's not like that we have to do, right? So first of all you have to uh, pick up an element from the unsorted subarray list, and then we have to compare it with the sorted subarray list elements, right? And then we have to find an appropriate place for it. After we have found an appropriate place for that element, we do not have to directly place it. First we have to see that is there any other element with which we can compare it, or there are no other elements for to make some further comparisons. Then only in that case you have to place that element at its appropriate place. So let's start solving this example. So first of all the first element is 4. If we compare it with the sorted subarray list, we can see that this element in the sorted subarray list is greater than the 4, the unsorted subarray list element. So if it is, so the element in the sorted subarray list is greater, so you have to shift it to the right side, right? Like this. But you do not have to place directly the element of the unsorted subarray list in the sorted subarray. So you will have to place a question mark there. So 5 will shift by 1 to its right. Here you can see. Then our array will become 5, 10, 1, 6 and 2. So the element in the sorted subarray list was greater than the element in the unsorted subarray list, or the compared element was less than the element in the sorted subarray list. So we shifted the element in the sorted subarray list by 1 to the right. But here, as I have already told you, that you do not have to place the element of the unsorted subarray list in the sorted subarray list directly. First you have to wait and look that is there any other element with which we can make its comparison. If yes, you have to compare it and then find the appropriate place for it. If there is no other element, then only in that case you can place it. So you can see that we were having only one element in the sorted subarray list, so now we can place the 4 here. So this will become our array after the one comparison, right? And this side 4 and 5 will become our sorted subarray list, and 10, 6, 1 and 2 will become our unsorted subarray list, right? So now here the second element in our unsorted subarray list is 10, right? So we have to compare it with the elements in our sorted subarray list. So if I compare it with 10, so 5 is less than 10, right? So we do not have to shift it anywhere, right? So then again, if I compare it with 4, so 4 is also less than 10. So the appropriate place for the 10 is after 5. So we have to shift it to the sorted subarray list, and then our sorted subarray list will be till 10, right? So it was 10 was greater than 5, also than 4, so we do not have to shift the 5 to the right side, right? So 10 will be placed after 5, and now our sorted subarray list contains 5, 4 and 10, and the unsorted subarray list contains 1, 6 and 2. So the next element in the subarray list, the unsorted subarray list, is 1. So we have to compare it with all the elements in the sorted subarray list, right? So if I compare it with the 10, so 10 is greater than 1, so we have to shift it by 1 to the right? So then if I shift it to the right, so I do not have to directly write 10 in place of the 1 and 1 in the place of the 10. So I will be writing it like this, right? 10, and next we are having 6 and 2, right? So now, as I have already told you that you do not have to directly write it 1 in place of the 10 and 10 in place of the 1, but you have to wait and check whether there are any other elements with which we can make further comparisons or not. So if you see here, there are two more elements other than 10 with which we can compare the 1 and find the appropriate place for the 1, right? So if again I compare 1 with the 5, so 5 is also greater than 1, so 5 will be shifted by 1 to the right? So 5 will come here, right? And again we will be having the question mark here, right? So the question mark means that 1 is lying here, but we cannot directly place the 1 in place of the 5. Again we will see at that if there is any other elements with which we can make some further comparisons. Yeah, we are having 4 here with which we can compare the 1. So we will again compare the 1 with the 4. So as you can see, 4 is greater than 1, so we will shift the 4 by 1 to the right? If you are a bit confused, we are making the comparisons by going right to the left, right? So we do not have to compare it one as if I started from the first step, 1 with the 4, then with the 5, and then with the 10. Apparently it looks that the appropriate place for 1 is here, right? But we cannot make comparisons from the from the left to the right. We have to compare it with the elements, and then we have to move from the right to the left, not from left to the right. Okay, so if we now this 4 will be shifted by 1, right? So here we will again mark a question mark here, and we will check that is there any other elements with which we can compare 1. No, there are no more elements left in the sorted summary list with which we can compare 1 and compare 1 and look for some other shifting, right? So we will place 1 right at the first here, then our sorted subarray list will become 1, 4, 5, 10, and in our unsorted subarray list we will be left with only two elements, that are 6 and 2. So now again we will compare both these two elements in the unsorted subarray list with the elements in the sorted subarray list, and we will find an appropriate place for them, right? So now if I start comparing the 6 with the sorted elements in the sorted subarray list, so if I compare with 6, right? So if compare the 6 with the 10, so 10 is greater than 6, it will be shifted by 1 to the right, and here question mark will be placed, right? Now 6 is lying here at the place of the question mark. So now I will again wait that are there any other elements left in the sorted subarray list with which I can compare the 6. So I will compare it with the 5, 5 is less than 6. I will compare it with the 4, 4 is also less than 6. I will compare it with the 1, 1 is also less than 6. So no more shifting left here in the sorted subarray list. So I will write it as 1, then 4, 5, and I will place 6 here. So this is the appropriate place for the 6, right? And then we are left with only one element, that is 2, in our unsorted subarray list, and our sorted subarray list consists of 1, 4, 5, 6 and 10. So now we will compare again 2 with all the elements in the sorted subarray list and will find the appropriate place for it. So if I compare it with the 10, so 10 is greater than 2, it will be shifted by 1 towards the right. So here we are having the question mark. So we are having the 2 actually in place of the question mark. So but we are not gonna directly place it over there because we are having many more elements with which we can compare the 2. So if I compare it with the 6, 6 is greater than 2, so 6 will also be shifted by 1 towards the right. If I compare it with the 5, so 5 is also greater than 2, so 5 will also be shifted by 1 towards the right. And if I compare it with the 4, so 4 is also greater than 2, 4 will be shifted by 1 towards the right. And if I compare it with 1, 1 is less than 2, so no need to shift 1 by 1 towards the right, because the appropriate place for the 2 is after 1, not before the 1, right? So now I will place the 2 here in its appropriate place, 1, 2. So this was the appropriate place for the 2. As we have shifted the 4 towards the right, so 4 will be here, 5 will be here, and then after 5 we are having 6, and after 6 we are having 10. So you can see that this was our unsorted array or a list, and now this is our sorted array or list, in which we use the insertion sort and we sorted it by making two subarray list. The one was the sorted subarray list and the other was unsorted subarray list. Then we compared the every element in our unsorted subarray list with the sorted subarray list with the every element of sorted subarray list, and we finally got our sorted array. So this is our final result, and we use the insertion sort to sort our array. In the next video we will discuss the selection sort, which is quite similar to the insertion sort but a bit different. We will take a proper example and also discuss that in the next video.